I believe I am live. I am the Booktube Goddess, the #1 drag queen booktuber on YouTube, and this is a live stream of me putting on makeup and talking about books and whatever comes to mind. I hope there is people that are joining me today. If you are, please sound off in the comments to let you know that I am not. Oops. Okay. So, yay, it's cappuccino. Okay, well, one person is good enough for me. Anyway, please remind me. Oh, Lynette. Lynette's here. Hello. Last time, what was it, 2 weeks ago, I forgot to put on eyelashes. So I was like taking pictures after the video for a thumbnail, and it's like, wait, what's wrong with this look? It's like, oh, I forgot the eyelashes. So don't let me forget that. And I wasn't crazy about the look, what was it, 2 weeks ago, because I thought it looked good. But then when I was going back and doing Photoshop, I realized that I didn't gradiate up at all. So it was just this big block of pink. So I'm going to try to do a little bit more blending and gradation this week. Oh, we have some more people. Oh, great. Kayla, hello. Blue Black, hello, everyone. And Cappuccino didn't even notice. I got something from Amazon. And I know we love Amazon so much. But I got these, a bunch of new eyelashes. And these were, I think it was like $15 with tax. And for 10 pairs, so it's $1.50 per pair. So we'll see how that goes. Because I want dramatic drag eyelashes, but sometimes they're like really expensive and you want to support like other drag queens and indie brands or whatever. And sometimes it's like $10, $15 for one pair. And these are $1.50 a pair, so you can tell what the markup is. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Kayla, did you see that? Oh, no, I haven't, but don't talk about it because I'm going to do a reaction video today. I wanted to do a reaction on the Blood and Bones, and I wanted to do a reaction on the Dalmatians. And I was going to do the Dalmatians last week, but I'll talk about that in a bit. Let's just get, as you can see, I have my base done. I have on my tattooed eyebrows because I hate doing eyebrows. And I just noticed something about these tattoo eyebrows. They're really cheap. And I've just been using them as I use them. But I just noticed that they get smaller. There's like big ones here, and then they get progressively, let me show a big sheet. So you can see they get progressively smaller as you go down. And I didn't even notice that. And I've just been using them. Anyway, let's get started. Jackie is my sister. Everyone say hi to Jackie. Hey, sis. That's a whole long story that we can get into some other time. But I need to get started. Just found that the follow-up book to Hollow Kingdoms will be released in August. That's interesting, Lynette, because I thought that was a standalone. And I'm not sure, I don't know, I have mixed feelings about it because I would kind of wish it was just a standalone. Oh, actually, I'm going to use, well, let me cut the eyebrow. I'm going to use that flash palette again because I like that effect from 2 weeks ago. Let me just. Okay, so the reason why I didn't have a live stream last week, and I haven't talked about this at all, but I've been, you know, in my videos, some of you may notice I talk about like story structure and stuff, and I have done some writing, but I decided, well, you know what, I really, if I want to say I'm a writer or have any aspirations to be a writer, I need to write a book. So I wrote a middle grade book recently, and last week there was a conference of how to prepare your query letter. A query letter is what you send to prospective agents. So anyway, last week I had this conference, and it's like $25. So for $25, you had a weekend of these little workshops, and part of it is having reviews of a query letter. And Friday, I got a message on the forums, it's called Write On Con, I believe, that an agent wanted to see my a partial, which is what she wanted was like 3 chapters and a synopsis. So I really freaked out that weekend, and I should have waited till after the weekend, but I wanted to send it right away. So I was like freaking out, and I was doing like the Alexa Dunn method of how to query agents, which is you should query like, I think 3 or 4 at the start. So I was like looking at query track. Anyway, the point is that I was freaking out last week and sent these queries way too early. I should have waited till after the weekend and cleaned up my query, and I'm probably wasting everyone's time, but that's my story. Okay, let's love Hollow Kingdom, yeah. Kayla, thank you. Well, that's great news. Thank you. Thank you. Don't get your hopes up. Like I said, I'm really cognizant of story structures. And I don't think my story that I wrote is really sellable because, ironically, as much as I talk about story structure, this one breaks a lot of the rules. But, oh well. Okay, so I was thinking about doing Lynette. Excited about it, thank you. But don't get your hopes up, like I said. Thank you, Jackie. Do you do something writing related for a profession, says Kayla. Right now, my bread and butter job, or my to pay the bills job, is working at a law firm. I'm not a lawyer, but I work in, it's called document support. So I'm like an expert on Word and Excel and PowerPoint and that type of thing. Anyway, I used to, sort of adjacent to having a writing career, I used to, for about 15 years, I designed and developed a MUD, which is a online text game, and I wrote all the histories and short stories and that type of thing for that game. And people said they liked my writing, but of course I had a captive audience. But that writing is out there. A lot of the short stories you have to like, that's sort of the prize, is you do a quest and then you get this short story. But anyway, and I did go to University of Maryland, College Park, and my major was English and journalism. So Lynette, you could be self-published just for us to read. Hey, Dev, just found your channel. You deserve. Thank you. Oh my God, that is the story of my life. I need more views. Yeah, I don't know why, but my channel just hasn't broken out. It's okay. I have 1,600 subscribers, and my videos usually get like 100 views or more, which isn't bad for Booktube. But of course, there's always a hope. And I'm not monetized, so there's always a hope. Oh, I wish I could just get to that little next level. But that's how the cookie crumbles. Okay, so I was thinking about I know I'm wearing red, but I was thinking about doing a blue eye this week because I did pink last week. I guess I could do red, but that's going to do blue. Oh, talking about self-publishing, since I wrote a middle grade novel, middle grade is sold in bookstores. And really the only way you can get books, I mean, the target audience of 11 to 15, or actually I think it starts as early as 8, but mine is an upper middle grade. But people that age, young tweens or teens, they just don't buy off of Amazon, or they don't buy off of websites. They actually physically, well, not now because of COVID, but before then, they would go to bookstores to get books. And a lot of times the parents would pick out the books. Anyway, my point is middle grade just does not do well on self-published as self-published books. There are a couple of exceptions, but almost universally, it's like 3 times harder to make it as a self-published author with middle grade. Okay, let's catch up. Oh, by the way, if you want to be a beta reader, because I don't have any beta readers, I am me, and if you're really interested in critiquing my work. Do you use hashtags? I have on my Booktube channel. Sometimes I do. I usually don't, because I didn't seem to make much of a difference. But if you're saying that it does make a big difference, maybe I'll start using them more. But I mean, it'd be like hashtag Booktube, maybe hashtag drag queen, or whatever the subject is. But I started to, but then I stopped. Maybe that's the issue. I don't know. Just heard Breen Brown on her podcast say she self-published her first book and it sold out of the back of her car. Well, I don't have a car, so that's going to be hard. Just kidding. Okay. So I'm going in with a flash palette, which is basically face paint, to get a blue. I'm trying to mix up blue and white, because this is a really dark blue. So anyways, that's my story for why I didn't do anything last week. Oh man, this is really dark blue. It's going to look black on camera. Can you guys tell if this is the blue from the black? Oh well. Came this far. But it is kind of interesting, the whole agenting process. I'm trying to blend this blue into the white with my finger, which is kind of dangerous because this is where my eyebrows are glued down. And I don't want to lift them. Is everyone keeping up with WandaVision? I was talking about Blood and Bones and Netflix. I've been so stupid with Netflix because I've been paying like $16 a month. And I don't know when I set up my Netflix account, but for some reason I saw someone on, I think Twitter say, oh yeah, it costs $9 a month for, and I was like, $9? Why am I paying so much? Well, stupid me. I just picked like the most expensive Netflix subscription. And what it is it's, because I was thinking, oh, I have a TV in the bedroom, I have a TV in the living room, then maybe like on my computer or laptop. So I need 4 screens to run Netflix to make it worth it. But what the subscription actually is how many screens are running Netflix simultaneously. So I could have been using the $9 subscription all along, and as long as I just was streaming from one device, I would have been fine. So I don't even want to think about how much money I've paid to Netflix. But it's actually only $9 a month. So I'm interested to see what this Grisha, that's what Blood and Bones is for the Grisha universe. But the only thing I've read is Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. Okay, so this is the flash pellet part done. Okay. I'd love to read your book. Is it? Yes, it's a fantasy middle grade. It is a portal fantasy. And DM me on Twitter or Instagram if you want to be a beta reader, because I don't have any beta readers. Okay, good. It is blue. Boys say I want to be here. Okay, Jackie. I wish your boys were a little younger, just to get the right age. But Jackie has like 10 kids. Kidding. She doesn't have 10 kids. But she has a lot of boys. She has a few boys. For enough scene of the show. Yeah, I did it. I threw money at Netflix for no reason. Be interesting even if you haven't read the other trilogy in the Grisha universe. I did see something on Netflix, I'm assuming based on a book, because it really felt like a young adult fantasy, The Winks, not Wink, but W-Y-N-K, something like that, The Winks Saga, which, hold on, I'm just trying to find a light blue to start with. Yeah. Which was, it was okay, but it, you know, wasn't mind-boggling. Ooh, is this green? No. Sometimes I'm a little skeptical of blues because a lot of them are these turquoise blue greens, and as you know, I use a green screen, so I don't want to. I like this color though, because it does have this turquoise effect. Now I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, the Wink Saga. And I just thought it was okay. I didn't think it was terrible bad. I think I saw some booktubers not liking it at all, but maybe they've actually read the books. I haven't read the books. Catch up. Oh, yeah, the Grisha universe. I use the highest here, and there are 3. Yeah, it's worth it if you have a lot of people that are going to be simultaneously watching. But it's just me and my husband, and I can't even think of time when we've watched Netflix on 2 different screens. Yeah, it's the new Dune, Dev. I actually like the 80s version, but I understand why it was bad. I think I tell this story when I reacted to the Dune trailer. My roommate in college, who's this big jock guy, and his girlfriend, and I went to see Dune because I was like hyping it up. I was like, oh my God, Dune, it's the greatest sci-fi story. This is going to blow out Star Wars. So I got them to take me to the movie, and halfway through, Tom, my roommate, was like, can we leave? Can we leave early? I was like, no, let me stay. That was based on an old cartoon. What was based, Kayla, on an old cartoon? Sorry, I'm not checking these as they come in. Well, you're not talking about Grisha being... Oh, Winx. You're talking about Winx? I'm hoping I don't have to do lower lashes today, but I think I just went a little too ham on these, on the lower color. But it's nice to do this because it hides my bags. Winx was based, okay, Kayla. Had no idea. I because it felt like a young adult fantasy. It really did. Oh, this is a shimmer. I don't want to use shimmers. Of course, I am still very much a WandaVision fan. If you're watching that on Disney Plus. And it wasn't, I'm sure every Marvel fan last week was like, oh my God, because they introduced a twist, and it was a pretty good twist. I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it. But people familiar with the Marvel universe, I'm sure, were freaking out, because I know I was. See, now this looks good to me in the mirror, but I'm not going to really know. See, there's a lot of white still. When I look in the monitor, it looks like there's a lot of white here. Anyway. Oh, this brush is too big for this. Okay, I have another really light blue. So I am listening currently to the Hugo winner, A Memory. Oh my God, I forgot the name of the title. A Memory Called Something. And I was talking with someone in the comments on the video. She was going over, oh, she really loved the audio author. And I love the audio author now. But when it first started, she had this really robotic voice to the point where I was like, oh my, they didn't have a computer generated voice do this audiobook, did they? But once you got into the dialogue, she started voice acting, and it was pretty good. God, it doesn't look as blended. I've still watched the first two. Oh, you only watched the first 2 episodes of WandaVision. Yeah, it's kind of nice to binge them, especially when they're only a half hour. Because, like, sometimes these series would start and they would release them all at once. And when they first started doing that, I was like, oh, this is how I want to watch TV. You know, just release them all at once. But then it got to the point where it's like, oh my gosh, this is a 10-hour commitment. I don't know if I can watch. When am I going to have the time to sit down and watch 10 hours? Because when you start binging, you just, I don't know about you, but I just kind of keep going. But when there are half-hour shows, and I don't know how many WandaVisions will be total, but let's say there's 10 of them, that's like what, 5 hours. And you could do that in an evening. You could definitely do 5 hours in an evening. Okay, so I think Memory Called Empire. Thank you, Cappuccino. So, and so far it's a good book. Again, it's audio version. You know, the funny thing about audio on some fantasy and science fiction is you're just hearing the names. And when it's Tom or Bob or Jane in a contemporary audiobook, it's not a big deal. But some names, like I listened to James Islington's Memory series. Oh, gosh. It was a really good series, but of course, all the fantasy names were wacky. And when I was listening to the Burning God series, what's her? I hate not remembering the name of the series because they're all called something. But all the names were of Chinese origin, had no idea how to visualize the words. And in the Memory novel, the words are just so wacky. You just have no idea how they're spelled. Anyway, I should do a video, and I've been meaning to, about the difference between reading a book and listening to them as an audiobook, because there is a difference. Was that for a character reason or plot reason? What are we talking about? Are we talking about Memory Called Empire? Oh, blending's uneven in the blue. Yeah, it looks blended here, but when I look in the monitor, it looks not as blended. Sorry, not talking. Oh, that's the wrong brush. The robotic sounding voice narration. Yeah, it was like in the exposition. She has, whoever the narrator is, has a very neutral voice that comes this a little bit staccato. So it kind of sounds like to me, it sounded a little robotic. But then when the dialogue happened, it was, she was a voice actor. So she brought out the emotions and the variance. I'm used to it now and I like it now, but it was a little disconcerting when I first started the audio. Oh, Lynette listened to the Monster of Eldenhaven, loved it. I would not have selected it if not for your channel. Yes, that's why I'm here. Yeah, that was, and no one really has talked about that book, but I think it was sort of a fantasy horror. And I thought it was really good. And I didn't even realize how homoerotic it was until I was like doing a book tag. I mean, I recognized it when I was reading it, but then I promptly forgot about it because the romance, if you want to call it a romance, isn't really it's a small plot point or small subplot. But for me, it fires on all cylinders. And it's one of those books where I don't think it can, I said this about the Hollow Kingdom, but I couldn't see it as having a sequel. But maybe the author will surprise me. I would like to know more about that world. There was some interesting world building. Okay, I'm going to stop. Okay. I was going to cut, I have this gold, if I can find it, this gold, maybe I shouldn't. Because usually I cut the crease white and maybe put a color on it, but I have this gold paint or eyeshadow, and that's going to cut the crease. Well, let's try it. What's the worst that can happen? The drag police will come after me. Looking for a small, here we go. Kayla, you mentioned watching the Expanse show. Do you know if each season follows a book? I believe it does. And I can't be 100% sure because, I mean, it's been a few years since I've read the books, and I started watching the Expanse on the Sci-Fi Channel, which was, years ago. So I can't say with 100% definite knowledge that yes, they follow book by book, but I'm 80% sure that it does. And the new Expanse book is coming out later this year, which I'm very excited about. And it's kind of interesting because the S.A. Corey is a pseudonym of two authors. And I believe I read that when they divide the book up for the initial writing, like each writer one of the two writers just picks one of the characters, so the voices are different. Like Bobby is by one writer, and Holden is another writer. Anyway, they're really good series, books. What author, living or dead, would you like to meet? I don't know, because you don't want to meeting your heroes can be problematic. Well, actually, I know James St. James, because he has a YouTube channel where he does these drag makeup. Oh, thank you, Cappuccino Gold. Will look good. He has a YouTube channel where he does drag makeup, and I really liked his. Well, he's only written 2 books. He wrote Disco Bloodbath, which became the movie Party Monster, which was a true life story because he was what's called a club kid in the 90s, and he knew the parties of a couple people accused of murdering another club kid, to the point where they dismembered the body and tried to hide it. Anyway, that's, if you like true crime novels, that's really good. But he has a really distinct voice. And he also wrote oh gosh. It's the drag book I recommend with the high school. I'm so bad at remembering things. Which also became a movie with Bette Midler. Shoot, what's the name of that book? Because I can see the cover in my mind. Someone mentioning it. Oh, okay, yes, Ad Monster of Eldenhaven. Just started reading the first Expanse book, and it's the whole series is good. Anyway, this is a gold. Does it show up on? Because it's like a metallic gold that shows up in the mirror. I don't know. I'll just go with it. It's too late to go back. I think I just need to start doing the black eyeliner. Freak Show. Thank you, Dev. Yeah. I was disappointed in the movie, I'll be honest. I mean, it's not a bad movie, but I don't think they picked the right actor. And I really like the actor that, in other roles that he's played, but as an effeminate queer kid, it was a little odd. Plus, he's a British actor, so he was speaking with an American accent. Okay. I wish I had a steadier hand. I mean, the best drag artists are actually people that can draw straight lines. Another comment. What's your favorite movie based on a book? Marshmallow. Funny enough, I like the movie better than the book. And it's a movie called Travel with My Aunt with Maggie Smith as the lead actor. She was actually nominated for an Academy Award for this role. Oops, oh crap, I just messed up. But it's about a woman in England who had a very colorful life, and she meets up with her nephew and sort of takes him on this adventure. And I know it sounds a bit like Auntie Mame, but the nephew is a grown man. He's a banker in his 30s or 40s. But it is one of my favorite movies of all time. But I saw the movie before I read the book. And then when I heard it's a book, I, of course, had to read the book. It's by an author called Graham Greene. It was a big name back in the day. But the book was kind of stream of consciousness, and it just wasn't that great. One of the few occasions where in my opinion, the movie surpassed the book. And of course, I also love Auntie Mame, which by Patrick Dennis. Which is the sort of classic camp. And I think I read, my father had a collection of short stories or short fiction, and one of the stories was a chapter out of Auntie Mame. So I actually read Auntie Mame without realizing that it was from the movie. But of course, eventually I got the book, and I read the book, and I read the sequel, Around the World with Auntie Mame. I think I've mentioned it on a couple tag videos. Trying to color my eyebrows so I don't have to, my eyelashes, so I don't have to use mascara, because I hate mascara. Movie Big Fish. I think it was better than the book. I love the Lynette. I love the book. I love the movie Big Fish, but I haven't read the book. Another movie that's better than the book, and I think this is almost universally held, is Arthur C. Clarke's 2001. Because I think he wrote the novel 2001: A Space Odyssey for the movie. And it's probably his worst piece of writing. Because I know a lot of people, it's like, recognize Arthur C. Clarke's, at least his name, as sort of one of the OG science fiction authors, which he is. But then they pick up 2001: A Space Odyssey because that's what they've heard of him. And then they're like, why was he considered a good writer? This isn't that great. Okay, can you see the gold cut crease? I mean, I can see it, but I'm not sure it's showing up on the monitor. We need some black shadow to set this. Oops. It's black makeup. Oh, hi 2020. Do you judge a book by itself even before reading the book? Do you book by itself? Do you judge a book by? I know what you're saying. I think they are two totally different mediums. So I try not to make any comparisons between a book and a movie. I mean, in a book, you spend, what, 10, 20, 40 hours in the minds of another character, and you're just not going to get that experience in a 90-minute or 2-hour movie. So you're going to have to cut scenes, cut characters, really sometimes change the story altogether. So it's, if you can divorce the movie from the book, I think it's better not to compare them, if you can. Okay. Oh, you can see the gold? Thank you, Cappuccino. Dagon autocorrect. Oh. When I saw Dagon, I saw you're talking about a Lovecraft movie. Okay, I'm going to try to draw black around the gold, so I'm going to be quiet while I make sure I don't mess this up. Okay. I'll try to put another layer of gold on just because it's a little patchy in places. Little Big Man are both excellent, but very different. Yeah, if you haven't seen Little Big Man, I haven't read the book, but the movie blew me away when I first saw it. I was a little young when I saw it. But it stars Dustin Hoffman as a man in the American West who, I don't know if kidnap's the right word. He's a prisoner of war for an Indian tribe. And it is funny. It expands like, I don't know, 50 years of his life. It's really a great movie. Watch Boys Do It Too, and I love it. 2020. I don't think I know that one. Boys Do It Too. Oh, are you talking about the YouTube drag series? I wish I was as talented as those guys. But I definitely think I've improved my drag since when I started this channel. Some of those, and I thought I was doing good when I first started, but now looking back, it was pretty rough. But I really respect, especially knowing what it's like now, I really respect drag artists that can create some of these looks. Okay, so gold on, and now I'm going to try to take a little bit of black to blur the lines, and I need a tiny brush for this. That's the other thing. I'm so cheap that I don't have great equipment. Like these brushes are really hanky. Little Big Man. When was your first drag ever? 2020. I really just started doing drag for this channel, but I don't want to say how old I am, but let's just say I was playing around with drag and gender bending in the 80s. And a couple times I went out in full drag. Now I never like did lip syncing or was like on stage. In those days, like all the men wore eye makeup, it felt like. And so it was just a few steps to go a little further. And for a long time, every year for Halloween, I was one of those Halloween queens that me and my husband would both dress up in drag. He looks passable, meaning he looks like a real woman in drag. But we would like have matching outfits and go out for Halloween. But I didn't get serious until I started doing this channel because I really wanted to be I've always wanted to be a drag queen, and I know I'm not going to be like a lip sync assassin. I'm not going to like be going out, but I thought, on YouTube, I can sort of live out my drag queen fantasy and be a booktuber, which was also something I was looking at doing. So I just combined those two things. Has it worked out? Well, you tell me. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to smoke out this black line just a little bit to blend into the dark blue, which is what I meant to do with that pink look 2 weeks ago and forgot. Okay, so I'm going to call this side done. Marshmallow, yes, I do drag for YouTube exclusively, pretty much, just as I explained it. Unless I'm going out for, oh, Lynette, where did I get my drag clothes? Here's the thing. When I decided to do this for Booktube or YouTube, I didn't want to spend a lot of money. I finally did break down and get better makeup because that helps. But for drag outfits, since I'm just primarily on YouTube, I get these like top things that are super cheap on eBay or Wish or AliExpress, because I just don't want to spend that much money. I mean, I spend most of my money on wigs, my drag money on wigs. Which I get from the Friston, Friston. Look him up on Etsy. He's a retired Hawaiian theater wig designer, and he puts up these drag wigs. And you have to, and also follow him on Instagram. But you have to be fast, because when he puts up one of those wigs, if it's like a really popular one, they don't last very long. He puts up maybe a couple wigs a month. Okay, anyway, outfits. And I have also gotten on eBay, like, because I like to wear the blazers, because I like sort of the mother of the bride look, or the more mature drag queen look. So I've gotten like a couple of lots of jackets, which sometimes they're new, but sometimes they're used. So I'm thinking of old ladies that have died. That's what I'm going for. Hopefully they haven't died in what I bought. But like I said, if my channel ever does get monetized and I actually can justify spending more money on outfits and makeup and jewelry, like my jewelry is also like this top with maybe $5, and the jewelry I get is super, super cheap stuff you can get on eBay or Wish. And there are, and you can tell when you get them how junky they are. But on camera, it doesn't really matter that much. You can wear like this plastic jewelry as long as it has a little bit of bling to it. You make great videos, and you found yes, that's exactly what I did, to combine the interests of drag and books. In Argentina, we don't, oh, you're from Argentina. We don't really have a big Halloween scene, so I did what the kids called crossplay for a while. It was one of the big things me and my girlfriend had in common. Oh, that is fantastic, crossplay. I think of cosplay for that. Is there a famous book on drag queens you recommend? Well, Freak Show by James St. James is about a queer, effeminate man or boy, high schooler, that is drag queen adjacent. I also read, if you just like funny books, Trixie and Katya's Guide to Womanhood. Not a very deep book, but it's funny. It's a good gift. Hmm. If anyone else knows of a drag book to recommend. Because I guess in reality, I don't read that many drag books. I've been meaning to read Willem. He's one of the RuPaul Drag Race winners. I've been meaning to read his book on drag. But again, I think it's like a comedy essay, comic essay type thing. What do you have to do to get monetized on YouTube? You have to have, Lynette, 1,000 subscribers, which I have, but you also have to have 4,000 watch hours in the last year, and that's the big hurdle because I'm like at half that. Black Flamingo. I've heard about the Black Flamingo, have not read it, the YA drag novel that came out last year. Hopefully it's by a drag queen because I've read a book, Martin McLean, Middle School Queen, that was obviously not written by a drag queen, and I found it problematic. There's another YouTuber, booktuber, who has written a drag book. Now, I was actually going to get it, but he didn't have it as an ebook, which I thought was weird because it was from a big publisher. Yipes, I don't remember his name. If anyone remembers the name of the booktuber who's did a book on a drag queen, because he's had gotten into drag on YouTube before, which I thought was interesting. Flashback to old horror anthology episodes or something. A woman gets a suit or a dress at a thrift store that a horrible old lady wore a lot and was donated after she died. Thank you, Cappuccino. Well, if I get possessed, you'll be the first one to know. It's drags, I understand. Yeah, for the Flamingo book. I'm thinking of another book, and it's by a booktuber. RuPaul does a great online masterclass on drag with Raven on makeup. Dev. Yeah, I haven't seen that. I don't know how expensive those masterclasses are, because I've also seen them on writing. Does anyone know how expensive those master classes are? I did have Skillshare for a while and didn't really use it that much. Not for drag, for video editing. "2020, Jared Leto won an Oscar for a drag queen role in Del." Yes, that was actually a good movie. I have seen it. Recommend the movie. $100 for the year. For one master class? Okay, I'm going to do the white. Okay. I think I need to bring the gold down a little. Not talking about drag classes, but for writing classes, I don't know. I mean, once you have a good understanding of a lot of the writing, sometimes you just need to sit down and write. Because you could spend so much time trying to learn how to write when really the trick is just getting off your butt and writing. So I don't know if I should bring the white all the way over. I think I will for this. Dev, 100 per year, watch all the classes they offer. Oh, that is worth it. Okay. That's good to know. I thought it was like 100 per class, but if it's as many classes as you want. Marshmallow tempted to do the master class. Neil Gaiman. Yeah, I love Neil Gaiman. I know. You can just get overwhelmed. There's just so many videos, and a lot of which are free. Yeah, practice is the best way to learn. Do the hours of the live video said? I think they do. But remember, it's watch time. It's like how many people have watched 4,000 hours. It's not having 4,000 hours of content up. Because my live streams usually 10 to 15 people. And even if they're like an hour long, that's like, well, it adds up. I'm pretty sure they do count for the monetization. White all the way. Okay, Marshmallow. Oh, 2020, $70 for the masterclass. Yeah, I agree, Cappuccino. It looks tempting because you see, who is it? Neil Gaiman, Judy Blume. I mean, you see some big names doing this master classes. Oops. Oh, I just ruined my white. I was trying to sharpen it. Oh, boy. I think I just ruined this. I'll just use the NYX. Oh, come on, light. Great, I just painted my eyeball. I think I'm running out of this NYX white eyeliner too. A good writer isn't necessarily a good teacher. That's true. Yeah, Oops. Brandon Sanderson's, I think his, he does a class at BYU that are for free. That is really, they're really good. I know a YouTuber wanted to reach the monetization limit, created a playlist of his videos, and called for his viewers to let them play in the background. I guess that might work for some people, Blue Black. I think that's a little bit of a cheat. And that'd be kind of, I would feel a little awkward asking people to do that. I mean, if you want to do that, I'm not going to stop you, but going out and asking people just to put your videos on repeat. Sounds a little tacky to me. Wait, you know what? I think I have another one of these. I think this one has died using this NYX. But I do have another one. That's the other thing about drag is you're always having to replenish something. There's always something that runs out. How's that look? It probably does need lower lashes. I was trying to avoid lower lashes. Or do you think I don't need lower lashes? Hopefully you'll say I don't need lower lashes. Does only the first watch of a video count? I don't think so. Yeah, Blue Black, I think rewatches count. Off topic, how do you manage to read so many books? I used to read so much when I was in high school. I don't think I read a lot of books. I read 2 to 3 books a month. Actually, I think that's a lot of books. But even if it's sometimes only 1 book a month, the thing is, if I compare myself to other booktubers, they read ridiculous amounts of books, and I couldn't tell you how they read so many. Oh, thank you, Blue Black. Like the eyes. Mongolian band must do good from me because I watch the videos. Yeah, some of those like playlists of music and stuff do very well. Cappuccino. Audiobooks help. Yeah. For me, and I've said this before, I do audiobooks while I jog. So it's actually a motivation to get me to jog because I don't listen to them anywhere else except when I jog. So if I'm slow at an audiobook, that means I'm not exercising. The Who. I have to check that out, Lynette. Oh, could you see the gold now? Yeah, the gold is kind of darker than I thought it would be. Oh, that reminds me I was going to fix the gold. Gosh, everyone loves the Who. Not the WHO Who, the Mongolian band, the Who. Now, if we're talking about the Who, the WHO Who, Come on, gold. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit of black. Okay, I think the eyes are done. So any comments on lower lashes? I really don't want to do them, honestly. Another Who fan. Do you have Audible? I have the Audible subscription, but I'm not keeping up. I have more credits. I have like 2 or 3 credits. I think 3 credits. So I'm thinking about stopping the subscription, if that's what you're talking about. Because, excuse me. Because I'm not reading a book a month on Audible. Okay, so let's. Trying one of my cheap lash looks. Marshmallow. You don't think I need the lower lashes? Okay, good. We'll see what it looks like without them. Auto, Libro, Scrib offer audiobooks, and the subscription membership models are different. Yeah, libraries have audiobook and ebook catalogs too. Yes, that's a good point. Yeah, of course, I started with Audible they had like some type of promotion. Here's my glue. Here we go. Oh, excuse me. They had some type of promotion. I forget if it was like $5 for 5 months or $5 a month for 5 months. But since then, of course, they get you just any subscription service really gets you, because a lot of us just forget we have a subscription, just let it run on our credit card, which is what happened to me in Skillshare. Because I wasn't using it, but it was charging me every month. Okay, I'm not going to glue these on yet. I just want to see how I'm going to put them on. Okay. Seeing if I needed to trim them, but I don't think so. Audible and Scribd. Tried Kobo. You know, there's a free audiobook called LibriVox, Librivox, I think. And that is for any books in the public domain. People volunteer to be a audio reader. So if you're looking for a free audiobook that's in the public domain. You might want to check that out. Okay. These eyelashes are like surgery, so. Oh boy. Okie doke. My cousin, Marcia, was like, oh, I can't believe how fast you put on these eyelashes. Well, these eyelashes are nowhere near my lash line. I mean, you saw how much black eyeshadow I was using. So I can lay this eyelash nowhere near my lash line. Like there's like a good 1/4 inch here. And they're at an angle, so they flare up more. But these are cool eyelashes. I like these eyelashes. Think of dropping my Audible, but then I get interested on their original. You know, I haven't read any of the original exclusives. Do you really listen to enough of them? I don't listen to any of them, so yeah, maybe I should stop the Audible. Because I have a feeling I'm listening to one every other month. But if I happen to get like a really short Audible book, I'll just go through it real fast. Your e-readers, Kobo, you go for. I like Kindle. I mean, a lot of people don't like Amazon for good reason because they're taking over the world. Okay, let's start brushing off this bake. Now I was trying to, I put blush on earlier, but I think I just might have wiped it all off. Let me just put a little bit more on. Okay, and I want a white dot at the end of my nose. And I don't really have highlighter, except one of these shadows can kind of be a highlighter. There. Yeah, I think this turned out pretty good today. Pretty good, if I do say so myself. Oh, Cappuccino, trying to reduce your Amazon. Don't blame you. Lynette, Amazon, own so much. I need to check out Book Depository, though. But see, Amazon got me because I have a Kindle, and it's just so easy just to click a book and it downloads on your Kindle. Yep. Storygraph is actually way better. Interesting. The library thing. I still have my Goodreads account, but it won't be long before. Oh, you're going to, Blue Black, you're going to delete your Goodreads account. I don't know how to use a Goodreads account. I mean, I use it for Shelve It or Shove It to look at new releases, and I use it to track my books, but I don't really use it to look at book reviews. Maybe I look at a list of books sometimes, but I'm not really sure I'm using it like it's supposed to be used. Okay. I think the big thing about Goodreads that people love is getting involved in a community. But I don't know, maybe I'm just lazy. I just don't know how to do it, but I never really connected with that many people on Goodreads. Oh, Storygraph does stats and analytics about your reading. That's interesting. I don't know anything about Storygraph. I'm always paranoid about lips. Sometimes I make them too big, or they're uneven. You'd think lips would be the easiest thing to do, but when you overdraw your lips, it's just one stress after another. And I run down these pencils so fast. And of course, I can't talk while I'm doing this. Marshmallow, I don't know how to use Goodreads, me neither. I don't know where to start. I just use it to track the books. That's all I use it for. And to look at lists and stuff. Gives personalized recommendations. Oh, that's interesting. Personal reading challenge on library thing. I don't know that one either. Try to puck some books. Pick some new ideas. Okay, just want to do basic red. Thought this was a darker red for some reason. Let's get some. What am I doing? What am I doing? Looking for clown white. Here it is. Let's try to these lines. You know what? There's a drag queen on UK who uses Flash Palette for the lip liner. Lawrence Chaney from Scotland. And why am I buying lip liner when I can just use this cheap ass flash palette? Okay, I'm going to have to use a little foundation to try to fix. There's like it's like a little bumpy. Comes from having a beard and trying to use crayon on your beard area. Small enough. Okay. I'm sitting way too long on these lips. Usually, oh shoot, I just got some on my chin. Yes, talk among yourselves. I'm making a mess. Okay, I mean, I can spend forever trying to clean everything up, but I think this is okay. Trying to think, is there any step I missed? Because I usually do. I'll think about it later. Okay. So fun time. Putting on the all accessories. Okay. Just basic little gold necklace. Earrings. Oops. My favorite nylon gloves. Oh, wait, this is a... I just mismatched my gloves. This isn't a nylon glove. Oh, well. This is a nylon glove. Okay. And the hair I have for today, it's kind of a fun, oops. I wish the sideburns were a little bigger, but there we have it, the complete look. Where's this hair coming from? Always one. Okay. I'll worry about that later. Okay, so what do you guys think? Yes, this is your Booktube Goddess, your #1 drag queen booktuber on YouTube. Okay, we were still talking about... Was that story? Which one are we talking about? The story? Oh, I'll look back at this. Thank you. Thank you. I read The Murmur of the Bees. Okay, so today I'm going to be doing Shelve It or Shove It, and I want to do reactions to a couple of trailers, one of which is going to be Blood and Bones, the Grisha Chronicles. I bet that's going to be real. Hopefully they do a good enough job that it's going to be popular, because I know there are so many Grisha fans out there. So I need to get started. I'm looking on the screen, trying to see if I can actually see that gold, because these eyelashes are so big, they kind of cover it. Oh, well. Okay, so thank you for joining me. It's been it's been a long time. I think I just spent too much time on a couple little things. In the future, I could probably do that, some of the touch-up stuff off camera, because I know I just don't talk when I'm like doing the lips and some of the eye stuff. Anyway, I hope you'll join me next week. I'm going to try to do these same time every Saturday, and sometimes things come up and things happen, but if I can be here on Saturday same time, I will be. Okay, so that's all I have. Once again, thank you, and may all the books you read be blessed. And we are out.